Welcome to Help, I Have Too Many Ideas, Idea Overwhelm, and How to Handle It. The problem of having too many ideas. This is one you might not hear all the time. After all, writer's block is a famous term people think of when they think of writers. They picture the grumpy old writer wrapped in a robe with messy hair, hunched over a computer with a few empty coffee mugs next to them, their face scrunched up in frustration because they just can't write anything. And yeah, that happens. It happens to the best of us. But this lesson is not about writer's block. It's about having too many ideas, or as we like to call it, the overwhelm. What's the overwhelm? The overwhelm is what we call everything that's, well, overwhelming. You'll learn more about that in our lesson on the overwhelm. For now, we're going to focus on the problem of having too many story ideas and not knowing which one to write first. It's important to know that all writers are different. We're all human, and humans are all unique. Some of us work in a linear fashion, writing a book from start to finish in one go, while other writers jump around to different parts of the manuscript. I've known someone that used to write the ending of their books before they ever even touched the beginning. So, given our differences as humans in general, please know that what works for one author might not work for you. It's helpful to try out everything, though. Don't just read some advice and shrug and say, nah, that's not going to work for me. Go ahead and try it out. You might be surprised to find that this new method or idea works really well with your creative process. Firstly, I want to tell you to breathe. At many points in your writing career, you might find yourself suddenly having too many ideas. You want to write a fantasy and a thriller and a children's book and just take a deep breath. You can't do it all at the same time. I mean, you could try, but you shouldn't. If your goal is to complete a manuscript and see it to publication, you'll need to focus. If your goal is to not only publish your manuscript, but to have it sell copies, you'll need to be smart with what you write. Just because you have an idea doesn't mean it'll make the best book. Ideas. So ideas are the easy part. You can find ideas a dime a dozen, and you can walk out on the street and talk to a random person, and they'll probably give you 5 ideas themselves. But writing a novel is where it gets hard. Often, you'll start writing something only to realize that the idea won't make a great story after all. It's okay to shelf that idea. It's okay to throw your hands up and say, nope, this isn't it. Note, you don't have to toss your ideas. Feel free to save them in a notebook or a Word document. Write them on Post-it notes and toss them in a jar. Sometimes you'll want to revisit them because you never know when an idea that isn't good for now will be good for later. The sad truth. Nothing will derail your writing career quite like forcing yourself to finish something just to finish it. If you don't truly love the story you're writing, guess what? The readers won't like it either. And it'll get poor reviews and bad sales, and you would have wasted all of your time. Time to defeat the overwhelm. When you find yourself facing too many ideas, ask yourself these questions. Do you actually have a book idea? Often what we have is a premise, a small sentence, or even a fragment of a sentence. What if a woman found a magic mirror in an old house? Maybe something with dragons. A teenager loses their pinky finger in a prank gone wrong. Those are ideas, sure, but they aren't fully fleshed out plots. You might have a dozen ideas like this in your mind at once, and it may feel overwhelming because of it. When this happens, take a breath and write them all down. Which idea has an actual plot to it? A beginning, middle, end, complete with story arc. If there's a clear winner, then that's the one you should work on. Sometimes an idea is just an idea, and it might be great to utilize inside another novel, like giving the missing pinky finger to a side character, or have it be a funny story that happens in another novel. Sometimes an idea isn't really book-worthy, so go through your list and cross off all the ones that aren't book-worthy. Which plot am I most excited about? Sometimes the answer can surprise you. Sometimes it's obvious, sometimes it's a struggle. But look at your list of plots, not calling it a list of ideas anymore because we eliminated those in the previous step, if you remember. And see which one calls out to you. Which one is your favorite? Which one gets you all excited to write it? That might be the idea you should write. And what do I mean by might? Well, which plot will make a marketable book? The key to successful publishing is to publish books that are the most marketable, not the most unique, random, or fun. Are you excited about a vampire book idea, but vampires aren't selling well right now? Maybe it's not the best to write. Are you dying to throw your hat into the billionaire romance ring, but you feel overwhelmed by the billions of billionaire romance books already out there? Go back through your list of plots and look up each genre and trope according to the Writing to Market lesson that's also in this module. Whichever one you think will work best in today's market should be the idea you write. If you're still in the overwhelm, that's okay. I think much of our lives as writers is spent here. Here's what you do. Reach out to your writer friends. Find a beta reader, a critique partner, or your best friend, or us over on our Facebook group. Ask others for advice about your ideas and see if there's a general consensus on which idea to write. And remember, whether you're stuck in the overwhelm or you're having a great day or a bad day or any type of day, we are always here for you. You can always reach out to us and find us on the Facebook group.